Hey guys, today we are going to see a small demo of Jenkins that executes a Java Spring Boot code and packages the software with the help of Maven. So first of all, when you need to start Jenkins, it can be done via local installation of MSI file or a WAR file. So in this case, I have done the installation of WAR file. And if you have downloaded it, you can simply navigate to the folder and just run this little command here, that's java jar jenkins.war. After hitting this command, you will encounter a simple message that's Jenkins is fully running successful, and you can just hit the port number 8080 on your local host to bring Jenkins up and running. Now the first time you hit this URL, you need to do a simple steps like installing a small plugin that are Git plugins, Maven plugins, and the default plugins that you need, and create a user that I have here created so that it will be useful for you to log in a number of times afterwards. Okay, let's move to the dashboard. So I am on the dashboard of my Jenkins, and I have created a new freestyle projects, that's Jenkins POC. So just giving you an introduction about this dashboard. If it's showing a blue colored icon here, that means all the runs within this are successful, and this small symbol it's here, which is specifying whether the runs in the Jenkins were successful. So if it's kind of a weather which shows the recent builds were successful or not. So if it's showing you a sunny symbol, then it will show that the builds have been successful for a long amount of time. And if you have some cloudy symbol or some storms coming inside, then it's probably some builds are failing or it's not successful. Okay, so now let's move to this project. So if I click on configure, so for demonstration purpose I am using Java code. If I will share you the URL, but this is a project which is not developed by me. I have just come across it for demonstrating an example, which is a very good and small project which can be cloned and easily executed. So when you configure the Jenkins URL, you have to, so these tabs are basically the navigation that you need on the full page, so they are nothing but the navigation. So if we move on to the source code management, we need to enter the repository URL. You can obtain this by clicking on clone or download symbol, and this URL you just have to paste it here. Since it's a global repository, we don't need any credentials to clone it because it's public. If it is a private repository, then you need to add your credentials, username and password, or in case of SSH clone, you need to add your SSH key in the repository, which is created by your credentials. Then we need to clone it from the master branch, so I've specified master here. Moving on to the build section, now we need to compile and package this code using Maven. So I have installed Maven version 3.6.3. After completing the demo of this pipeline, I'll quickly show you how to make the configurations of 3.6.3 or any other version of Maven. So in the build, you can see I have included 3 steps inside it. The first step gives you the command compile, that simply maps to mvn compile. If you don't need to specify mvn here because the plugin takes care of it, so just need to specify compile here. Then in the advanced settings, you have to specify the POM file name. So if you go to this folder, when we directly clone this folder, it has the pom.xml, so we don't have to specify any path. in that, so I have just specified the POM. Okay, moving on to the second, so the same steps applies to the second and the third build step. The second is clean step. So the clean step is basically used when you want to delete any cache builds or cache Maven files or cache compiled files from the package. Every time you create a package, you need a new compiled source code, otherwise it picks up the old compiled source code and tries to package it. The third step is package. So this will ultimately create a jar file at the end of this pipeline. Let me just go and save this job here. Okay, and you can see a multiple configuration options in the left side. So if you click on configure, all the settings that I have displayed right now are displayed. If you want to build the job now, it can be done by clicking this button. So we go forward in building the job. So you can see at the bottom there's a small little 4 block coming in and something is in progress. So if you just open the console, this the current build that is going on, which is triggered by us manually. So right now it's fetching the git code from the repository. It's cloning the git repository. The workspace that it's working is on my current computer at this location. We will go to the location after execution of this job. I will quickly show you where the workspace is created and what it's for. So right now, as you can see, it's executing the compile stage of MVN, and it is downloading the needed packages for Maven and running it. So we can see that compile is success. You get the message build success, and you get the time that's needed for compiling this whole code. The second step that's being executed is the clean command. It searches for all the files that are created by the MVN Maven process and cleans it. So the clean step only cleans Maven generated files. It does not clean any repository that was cloned. So for example, we are running the build now. At this instance of time, it has cloned the repository, and the next moment we again do build now, it will take the same clone repository. It won't clone again, but it will definitely clean the Maven files that were created in the process. After that, the third step that's getting executed right now is the package stage. So the package stage is taking all the compiled files and it will ultimately create a jar file. So it's, yeah. So you can see build is successful and a jar file is created. So if so the build is success, you get a blue symbol here. If you go back to the project and click on the workspace, you will see what are the files that are present in the workspace. So the same thing, if you navigate to the location that was visible on the build logs, that is in my physical computer. If I navigate to this particular directory in my folder, it's the same amount of code that you can see here right now. So in the target folder, this is the location where the jar file is created. So we already had a jar, and so second time it created the shaded jar file. So that's because we already had one. And yeah, this is how you can build, or you can package, you can do a series of commands without manual intervention into a single automated thing using Jenkins. So the Maven configuration that I wanted to show you before running this job. So if you go to manage Jenkins, so manage Jenkins section is kind of global administration section of Jenkins, wherein you can manage all the plugins, all the tools that you need, the security credentials, the users, everything. So if you just go to the global tool configuration section of manage Jenkins, you will see a couple of tools lists there like Git, Maven and JDK. So for Maven installation, you must have Java installed on your system. Maven has dependency on Java, so if you click on JDK installation, I have added the name JDK 1.8 and this particular JDK bin is present on this location on my computer, so it will fetch it from my computer from this location. If I go to Maven, the same thing, I have downloaded Maven and it's at this location. Additionally, you should also have Java home variable in the advanced settings of your computer, as well as the Maven added to the path if you want to run these commands manually first and then you want to run it via Jenkins. So these steps can be followed. If you go back to the project, you still see the fourth build that was executed, and these many builds I have run up till now. So if you click on the trend symbol, you will see a trend of the time taken by the builds 3 and 4 because it was run today, and how much time it's taken to run up till today. This is because I have added additional steps, so the time has increased subsequently in the builds. If you go back to the Jenkins, we have only one project on the dashboard. If you add additional projects, it will be available here. Also, you can add credentials for the Git, fetch, etc. You can click on the symbol to build now directly from here, and in the build executor status section, you'll see that the Jenkins POC projects 1 build is active. So yeah, this was from my side. Thank you guys, thank you for watching this video. Thank you so much.